Last November, Zohran Mamdani made history by getting elected as mayor of New York City. It was not because he's an immigrant, it was not because he's a Muslim, and it is not because he has a brown skin, but it is because he declared himself democratic socialist. In a country like United States, which is citadel to capitalism, where Communist Party was declared illegal at one time, where communists were hunted like stray dogs, and where the word socialism was considered a profanity until recently. It was no less than a miracle that Zohran Mamdani got elected. The left all over the world is going to watch his performance, whether he will be able to keep his promises, like freezing the rent, free buses, free childcare for the families, and taxing the rich, which is the most important clause that he promised the citizens of New York, and do it without compromising his principles. That will be his test. It remains to be seen whether he can stand the pressures which invariably will come. New York is the richest city in the world, but home to the poorest of the poor. It is a city where the rich enjoy sumptuous meals in fancy restaurants, and the poor sometimes have to find sustenance in the garbage bins. It is a city where great, beautiful mansions are built, but is also home to the worst slums in the world. It is a city with the widest gap between the rich and the poor. During his campaign, the most powerful man in the world threatened him to cut off funding of New York City if he got elected. The billionaire class banded together and tried to oppose him in any which way they could. Mamdani prevailed not because of his personal charisma, not because of his ideology, but not because of his promises to the citizens of New York that he will make the city livable again. It is because capitalism is failing. The system which gave so much to the world, gave so much to the humanity, also caused immeasurable misery to the billions of people in this world. In spite of having an unprecedented capacity to fulfill every need and want of the 7 billion people in the world, it also created a banking system which siphoned off wealth from poor to the rich, which established stock market, which promised people to make them wealthy, and yet most of the wealth was sponged off by the billionaires of the world. So when Mamdani spoke against the system, boldly challenged the billionaire class, and stood up to the most powerful man on this planet, the New Yorkers said yes. They flocked to him to support. So Mamdani, no doubt charismatic, no doubt driven by ideology, stands at the right time, at the right place in history. With the old world order crumbling, the mood in the world is being described as pre-revolutionary. Will he be the man to give the last push? We don't know. That remains to be seen. Mamdani has an opportunity to make his mark as the leftist who changed America, and yet he also faces threats like everyone else who dared to swim against the waves. Many of them lost their lives. So the leftists around the world are watching him, like Chairman Jawad Ahmed and his team at Barabari Party, who proclaimed Barabari Party to be a socialist party, the first in 79 years in Pakistan. We are watching with excitement and yet with anxiety. We are watching with hopes and apprehensions. Will he stay the course? Will he succumb to the pressures? Will he compromise his principles? Will he be sidelined? Will he be pressured into submission? We don't know. I remember the excitement when in January of 2015, Syriza was elected in Greece, a coalition of radical leftist parties. There were hopes that they will probably show the way to the rest of the world. But the hopes drowned pretty soon. Syriza compromised, and the excitement didn't last long. But Greece was a small, poor, debt-ridden country with a population of about 10 million people. While New York is the richest city in the richest country, not just in the world, but in the history of mankind. Will Zohran Mamdani be the first drop of rain, or whether he will be another failed experiment in a series of failed experiments, we don't know yet. But whatever happens, one thing is for sure: as long as there is misery on this earth, as long as there are people who are exploited, who are oppressed, as long as there is hell on this earth, there will be people who will dream of ending inequality. There will be people who will pledge to eliminate oppression and exploitation. And there will be people who will dream of establishing heaven on this earth, a heaven where people don't have to die to experience it, but they will experience it in their lives. I have no doubt that the day will come as it is meant to. Faz said, جو لوح ازل میں لکھا ہے ہم دیکھیں گے لازم ہے کہ ہم بھی دیکھیں گے وہ دن کے جس کا وعدہ ہے جو لوح ازل میں لکھا ہے اور راج کرے گی خلق خدا جو میں بھی ہوں اور تم بھی ہو لازم ہے کہ ہم بھی دیکھیں گے جو لوح ازل میں لکھا ہے.